Dating is way more difficult today than it was 20 years ago, or is it? One of the comments that I often get from some of my newer clients is that dating was way simpler and way more enjoyable 20 or 30 years ago compared to today, and that today dating is very, very difficult, if not impossible. And one of the things that we find out after working together a little while is that one of the main reasons why they're having such a difficult time dating these days is really coming down to one very simple reason. You see, when we're talking about 20 or 30 years ago, most of my clients were probably somewhere in their 20s. And they were probably either going to university, they were going to some sort of schooling, right? They were meeting a lot of people their age who were single in these environments. Maybe if they had jobs, some of the jobs that we have in our 20s, especially early 20s, are not jobs that we hold for a very, very long time. So we tend to move from one space to another. We tend to meet a lot more people. And we often meet people our age who are also single. We also tend to spend a lot more time with our friends in our 20s compared to our 40s or 50s when we have more responsibilities, when we have children that we spend most of our time with. So the number one thing that changed is the amount of opportunities that we are creating 20 years ago compared to today. You see, 20 years ago, when you were creating all of these opportunities without even trying, you could literally do nothing. You don't have to create opportunities. You have to put yourself out there, and something would eventually probably happen. Someone will somewhere probably approach you. You will probably start a conversation somehow, and you would tend to get into a relationship with someone without even trying. But if you try to use that approach and continue with that approach into your 40s or 50s, you would get very frustrated with dating. For a lot of us around that age, right, we tend to work from home. Or even if we do work in an office, it's probably the same amount of people year after year. We tend to spend time with our families or a very close set of friends who are probably married and are in relationships. So it's very difficult for us to really create these opportunities. So we have to get a little bit more and become a little bit more intentional with dating. We have to be intentional about meeting people, about creating more opportunities that lead to, friendships first and then potential to romantic relationships. Since we are not talking to as many people, we have to be a little bit more strategic when we do. So we have to learn about the language of attraction. We have to learn about setting boundaries. We have to learn about nurturing and creating attraction. That is the main reason why we feel that it's so much more difficult. It's not the fact that there are dating apps or that people are toxic today or that nobody wants to be in relationships or any of these things. One of the main reasons that I see repeatedly with a lot of my clients is just the simple fact that they're not meeting new people, that they're not creating these opportunities, that they're still waiting for the perfect person just to fall from the sky.